kababayan, please subscribe sa Erwin Tulfo official YouTube channel at huwag kalimutan i-ring ang bell button para kayo ay ma-notify sa mga bago naming videos.
Si Sir Gregorio Angelo Rafael de Guzman kasama ang kanyang ina na si Ma'am Claire de la Fuente. Si Sir Gregorio ay sinasabi ng mga otoridad kasama sa mga sinampahan ng kaso sa pagkamatay po nitong si Christina Dacera. Magandang umaga, Sir Gregorio. Magandang umaga, Ma'am Claire de la Fuente.
Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga po. Alright, sir. Okay, una po sa lahat, eto nga, kahapon lumabas na, nagpaliwanag na ho kayo sa mga media hinggil po sa mga pangyayari. Ang tanong ho nila ngayon, sabi ho ninyo initially, hindi naman talaga ninyo barkada si Claire, bagkus kayo ay naimbita lang. Is this correct, Sir Gregorio?
Yes po, I was invited po by Rom, yung friend ko po for 4 or 5 years. Pati nandun po si Jao, na close friend ko pa rin, na best friend po ni Rom. In-invite ako because they wanted me to meet their barkada.
Alright. 2 rooms daw, sir. 2 rooms ang nirentahan yata. So, isa kayo sa, ano?
Let me clarify that po. 2209 was ours po. Like,
Okay.
it was booked actually under Christine's name.
2209.
I heard that one of the guests knew, or 1 or 2 of the guests knew someone from the other room. There was another party, a private party at 2207.
Alright.
Yan. And when we went there, we just visited po. We went there, and it was another group of gay guys, based on what I asked or what I heard, and they were a bit older po. I think they were like 6, 7, or 8. They were coupled up po. So yeah, they weren't part of the party originally.
So, Sir Greg, is it okay if I call you Greg, right? Alright. So, 22, kayo ay nasa 2209, tama?
Yes
Tapos,
po.
merong isang grupo rin, 2207, pero hindi nyo kaibigan talaga ito, hindi niyo kadikit. So, ibang tao sa 2207, iba sa 2009. So, are you telling me now, well, nakita rin naman sa CCTV, na palipat-lipat si Christine, jumping from 2207 to 2209. Ganun ho yata.
I don't know who. I have no. I didn't witness that po kasi I stayed lang po in 2209. Pero there was one time po all of us went to 2207.
Alright.
One time po because we played a game even with them called yung Hepe Hore po. Si Tin pa ho yung nanalo.
Okay.
And she won 500 pesos, and that was the thing na we talked about when we went back because she thought it was 1-5, and I said what made her think that, but yeah.
Okay, sir, ito ang katanungan din. Both rooms po ba dito sa inyong room may inuman ba? It's a party, sabi nyo party, may inuman ba? Doon sa kabila, sabi mo sumilip din kayo doon, may inuman din ba? May drinking session din ba sila roon?
There was also food po. Yes, there was a drinking session and there was food. Sa amin po, yung sa 2209, it was a potluck dinner. So, meron po yung mga gumawa ng ubi pandesal, meron po nagpadala ng cheese plate, gumawa po sila ng sariling cheese plate, meron pong bumili ng andoks, may Angel's Pizza, may Jollibee, spaghetti, may mga desserts pa na hindi ko rin natikman. Kaya po parang barkada lang po talaga eh. It was a barkada hangout, parang Christmas party po nila.
Pero paano kayo napunta doon sa kabilang room, sir? Hindi naman pala ninyo kaibigan nyo na who invited you to go to that other room?
Yung sinabi po sa amin, sa akin at least, sabi ni Ron, parang may kilala po, we can go there po because syempre the more the merrier as they thought. So, yun nga po, I think one of them is a friend of a friend. So, that's what I was told po.
Okay. Another thing, sir. Okay, saan po ng bathtub, anong room na bathtub na natagpuan si Christine? Is it ang 07 or 09, 2009?
09 po, yung sa amin po.
Sa inyo. Doon siya natulog o na-pass out siya doon? Lahat ba kayo nag-pass out sa 2009?
Yes po. At least to my knowledge po. Pero maaga po ako ng konti natulog kaya sa others, mga 3 or 4 a.m. po.
When did you find out, sir, na si Christine or did somebody wake you up na si Christine ay patay na or nandoon sa bathtub? Anong oras ho ito?
So, ito po yung nangyari. My mom was calling me, so medyo nagising po ako, yung cellphone ko po vibrating. And then I started texting her. And then, nakita ko po, while I was texting, pumasok po si Rom sa CR. Then, I sent my message. Looking back po, nandito po sa times, it was around 12:05 po when I sent my reply, lunchtime. And, takbo po si Rom labas ng CR. Uy guys, tulungan niyo ako. Hindi na humingi sa tin. Then yun po, we rushed into the CR. I checked her pulse, I checked her breathing. Wala po talaga. So I asked Rom and everybody, guys, help me. Let's put her in the floor. I need to apply CPR. So I grabbed her by the arms. I don't know what part. Someone else grabbed her by the legs. We lifted her up slowly and we placed her down. And I felt her. She was lukewarm po. So I thought, kaya pa. Parang iniisip ko lang, magigising pa to. Tin, gising na babe. Yan, and then I started CPR, mouth to mouth.
Alright.
And
Sir,
yun nga.
Greg, okay. Ano hong itsura ni Tin nung pumasok kayo sa CR? May sinagsasabing may unan pa raw si Tin,
Yes.
na parang natulog talaga, sinadyang matulog sa bathtub. May sabi na nakabuka ka ro, may mga pasa. What's going on? Ano po talaga?
Ito po ang sa aking pananaw, what I remember po. Ito po, pagpasok po, syempre, when you hear someone is not breathing or unconscious, syempre you think, oh my God, did something happen to her? Did someone do it to her? So syempre, pagpasok ko po doon, I worried that I would see the worst. Pero when I got there, she looked like she was just sleeping. May unan po siya, yes, may unan po siya, and then nakahiga po siyang maayos. Wala po ako nakikitang bruises except meron po dun towards the shin po, lower knee, maliliit lang po. So I thought, okay, kala ko nakatulog lang siya, maybe yun lang po, I was going to my head, she looked like she was just sleeping, kailangan namin siyang gisingin.
Alright, sir, sabi mo kayo hang nag-administer ng mouth-to-mouth na CPR. You know CPR, mouth-to-mouth?
Where
did you learn this?
I was given training po because I'm a fitness instructor po, I'm a cycling instructor, and one of the requirements that they asked us to do is to get proper CPR training.
Alright. Panghuli lang before I talk to your mom, Sir Greg. So lahat kayo, please don't be offended, lahat kayo doon sa room ng 2009 are gay o may mga straight din doon? Ilan kayo lahat na mga male doon sa 2009?
From what I saw and what I was told, we were all gay po.
Kaya nga po,
And
pero how many of you?
Not insulting, I am a proud member of the gay community.
Yes. How many of you na nandoon sa 2009?
Actually, the only straight person was Tin. At least to my
si
age,
Tin.
I was told that.
Alright.
I saw, syempre, throughout the night, I saw people there was a couple, and then everybody, I think, else was single, so people started coupling, people started grouping over, so that's what I noticed, everybody was gay.
Okay. May mga mag-boyfriend ba doon? May mga relationship among you guys?
I was told, like, at least one was official, the other was like dating, or I'm not sure, but yun nga po. Yeah.
Well, one last question, sir. I'm sorry ha. Did Tin, kasi lumalabas daw, sabi sa initial report, not on the medical report, initial ng police na she was raped. Did at any given time na nawala sa paningin nyo, do you think na nagkaroon ng sexual intercourse or something si Tin with somebody during those times, during those hours?
No po. I don't think, based on what I saw and what my experiences, I never noticed anything. I don't think there was.
So it was just plain partying and drinking. So it's just partying and drinking.
Yes po.
Would you happen to know also, sir, please don't get mad at me ha, kasi may sinasabi pang may drugs daw. Were there drugs in 2009 or maging sa 2007?
The thing po is, I don't do that and I'm allergic. Parang ayoko po. The minute I get a whiff of it, I leave. Especially people that I don't know or like I just met for the first time. I don't like it. So,
pero may napansin ka ba na somebody's using ecstasy? Kasi may ecstasy raw na nabanggit.
No, I didn't see any paraphernalia because I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen people do it before. Pero in this case, I was looking around, nothing. No indication, no talk, no one offered me, nothing.
All right. Let me talk to you, ma'am. Ma'am Claire, all right. What was your reaction, ma'am? Oo, na yung anak ninyo, isa sa mga suspect ngayon. Ano ho ang reaction ninyo rito? Being a mother, na alam mo lang, nag-party lang yung anak mo, suddenly, suspect na ngayon sa rape with homicide or murder, Ma'am Claire.
Eh, syempre masakit. Dahil syempre, ang unang-unang tinatanong, bakit kailangan na nandun siya at that time? Sabi ko nga sa kanya, anak, tingnan mo, party ka ng party. Ngayon, nagkaroon ka ng parang at the wrong place at the wrong time. Parang ganon. Kaya nga sabi ko sa kanya na let it be a lesson na huwag masyadong party ng party, lalo na kung bagong kakilala lang.
Alright. Ma'am, balik ko kay Sir Greg. Greg, do you have a message to the mother of Christine? Kasi galit na galit ho siya at sinabi niya sumuko na kayong lahat. At talagang ang kanyang thinking, sir, anong grupo niya, ng family niya, involved kayo sa pagkamatay. Ano po ang message ninyo, Sir Greg, sa family, lalo na sa mommy ni Miss Christine, Sir Greg?
Ito po yun eh. I've always wanted to reach out to her. Siyempre, may process po tayo ngayon. Pero I wanted to tell her that I was there. Tawagan po siya ni JP. Araw na yun na na-discover namin si na tinulungan namin siya, na hinintay namin. Na I feel her pain eh. Hindi po namin iniwan si Tin. We cooperated. We are willing to cooperate through and through because we care about justice. We care about Tin. We want to know what happened rin, di ba? And I feel her pain and I understand po. I understand po what she's going through, and even though medyo ang sakit na po, hindi po ako nakakatulog sa lahat ng nangyari ngayon. Even po, nag-aalala po ako kay Rom at JP na baka ma-rape dun sa selda. Or kung pinagdadaanan nila sa utak nila. Ang gusto ko po yung malaman niya, sabihin ko lang po, it's okay. Naintindahan ko po kasi sakit rin po eh. Para sa amin na bigla lang siyang nawalang ganun. Pero alamin niyo po na we're on your side. Hindi namin kayo tinatakbuhan. We have been there through and through. We called you. We participated in the investigation. We are not hiding. We are on your side po. Kaya huwag niyo po isipin na tinatakbuhan namin kayo. Huwag niyo po isipin na may tinatago kami or may ginawa kami. Kasi we are on your side. And we are on Tin because we believe po that Tin is on our side right now. That she is looking out for us because she knows the truth and that she will protect us.
Sir, isa pa hong tanong ay yung sinasabi ng PNP na to surrender pero tapos na ho yung reglementary period na isampa naman na sa korte. Are you ready to face these charges in court and your day in court? Are you ready to do that? Or pag lumabas ang warrant, hintayin mo ba i-serve ang warrant sa'yo? Or you will just voluntarily go to the police station to give yourself up pag lumabas na yung warrant?
If it comes out to court, I am willing po. Because I don't want to hide. I have nothing to hide po. I have the truth on my side. I have the truth on our friend's side. We did what we needed to do. We helped her out. We are innocent. Kaya I'm willing to stand trial to prove our innocence.
Alright. Ma'am Claire, panghuli na lamang po. Ano po ang message niyo as a mother to a mother? Na nabasa ko na pero ano ho ang mensahe niyo diretsa po kay ay sa mami ni Christine, si Ma'am Sharon? Ano ho ang inyong masasabi sa kanya, ma'am?
Nang una ko siyang makita sa TV na nag-iiyak siya, ito lang naman ang nasabi kong una. Normal lang naman sa isang ina na magkaganon, manggalaiti. Dahil lalo na kung isip niya na may nangyari sa anak niya. Pero sana naman mabalanse rin niya ang isip niya na kung wala naman talaga sa mga reports, sa mga official reports ng ating autoridad, na wala naman talaga, wag niya nang ipilit kasi wag niyang isipin na kung nabuo na niya yung theory niya sa utak niya, yun na yung totoo. Hindi naman fair yun para sa mga taong inosenteng katulad ng anak ko. Yung mga batang nandun, lahat yun na inakusahan nila. Mga breadwinner ng family yun. mga takot gumawa, mga dissenting tao, mga nakapag-aral. Kaya, paano nila masasabi na may nangyaring ganito? Even the autopsy report says it's aneurysm. Walang no semen found, nothing. At walang yung laceration niya was already there for healed na, matagal na. Bakit ho kailangan pa tayong kung ano-ano ang sabihin, sinisira ang reputasyon ng mga tao. Ang sakit. Erwin, alam mo, nasasaktan ako dahil alam kong hindi normal na maglibing ng anak. Dapat tayong nililibing ng anak natin, pero sana naman, hindi naman pwedeng, porque namatayan ka ng anak, may pumatay na. Di ba, Erwin?
Sana naman po maisip niya na rin po kami na nag-aalala sa amin. Po siya.
At mga inosente sila. Di bali kung di sila inosente.
Do you regret, Greg, na pasama ka doon sa party na pumunta? Kung ibabalik yung panahon, will you still go to that party, Greg?
Honestly po, I will still go to that party. Kasi lahat po sila mababait. Si Tin po, ang bait-bait. And the thing is po, it was, for me po, I really feel it was just an accident. It was a circumstance. They were all good people. We were having fun. It was actually a very memorable party until that morning. Kaya, I have no regrets po because the truth is, nothing bad happened except that something unnatural happened. Something natural causes po.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Gregorio de Guzman and Ma'am Claire de la Fuente for your time given to us this morning. Thank you very much po. Sir Greg, thank you po and good luck po sa inyo in the near future. Thank you po, sir. Good morning. Nasa linya po ng aming telepono ngayon ang kilalang forensic pathologist ng ating bayan, walang iba kundi si Dr. Raquel Fortun. Magandang umaga po, Dr. Fortun.
Yes, good morning.
Pandong, balikan lang po natin kasi mainit po na issue ngayon na ito pong kay Christina Dacera, yung flight attendant na namatay. Well, kahit papano, nag-agree yung initial report ng PNP Makati na ruptured aortic aneurysm. Doon sa medical legal certificate naman, ganoon din na sinasabi, ruptured aortic aneurysm. Ano ibig sabihin nito, doktora?
So far, ang nakita ko lang dito yung image nung apparently final autopsy report.
Opo.
Ng PNP.
Oho.
Okay? So, hindi ko alam yung medical certification
Opo.
ng Makati.
Opo.
And just to explain, pag sinabi mong ruptured aortic aneurysm,
yes, ma'am.
Pumutok. May pumutok. Ang aorta ay malaking, makapal na daanan ng dugo. Major yan. Galing sa puso at nagdi-distribute sa different areas of the body. Yung aorta mismo ay so galing puso, pataas ng konti, kukurba, bababa, nasa may chest.
Sa chest.
Abdomen.
Sa chest po siya, hindi po siya sa ulo yung aorta.
Hindi siya sa ulo.
Alright.
Okay, medyo nasa likod, malaki yan. Major blood vessel na kapag yan ay nag-leak, mamamatay ka.
Alright.
Kung hindi ka maagapan. Alright. Tapos, yung term na ginamit nila, aneurysm. Ang aneurysm ay abnormal na paglaki o paglapat ng isang, well, in this case, yes, artery. Yes, pwede sa aorta. And it develops over time. So usually, yan ay a natural disease process. Okay? But you have to consider in this case, this is a 23-year-old bata.
Opo.
Hindi yan typical na nagde-develop sa isang ganyang kabatang tao. Halimbawa, mas matatanda yan eh. Usually, yung mga pumapangit yung ating blood vessel. Atherosclerosis ang tawag dyan. Tapos humihina yung wall. Tapos bumubukol. So ito yung aneurysm. Pagkatapos pwede yung pumutok. Okay. But so unang-una, unusual yung age niya. For a classical aortic aneurysm.
Oho.
Okay?
Oho.
Hindi naman mukhang congenital, malabo yata yun.
Mhm.
Tapos isa pa, nakita ko yung autopsy report, medyo hindi yata ganun kaklaro na aortic aneurysm na pumutok
Mhm.
itong dinidescribe nila.
Mhm.
Kasi sabi, transverse tear, medyo ibig sabihin horizontal kind yung orientation ng tear, punit.
Mhm.
Tapos, ang nilagay lang dito, sharp and jagged edges.
Mhm.
Rupture of aneurysm descending thoracic aorta. So,
Mhm.
nasa chest.
Mhm.
And wala man lang dinescribe, di ba sabi ko nga, pag napunit yan,
Mhm.
nakamamatay dyan, yung hemorrhage.
Oho.
Wala man lang mention ng hemorrhage na nakita anywhere in the chest.
So,
So,
kung sa layman's terms, Dr. Raquel, ito'y atake sa puso. Pwede bang sabihin atake sa puso kung sa ordinaryong lengguwahe ng mga tao?
yung pagkakaintindi ng layman sa atake sa puso, iba naman yon.
Oho.
It's usually what we call myocardial infarction.
Opo.
Namamatay yung puso, yung wall, yung muscle doon, kasi nauubusan ng oxygen supply, and usually kasi barado
Oho.
yung arteries.
Opo.
Pwede in a sense na yung damage na nakikita mo sa coronary arteries na nagsusupply sa muscles na to, in a way, ganun din nag-uumpisa sometimes itong aortic
Okay.
aneurysm.
Oho.
Okay?
Oho.
But in this case, yun, number one, she was 23 years old.
Opo.
And we believe healthy,
Oho.
previously well.
Opo.
Mukhang hindi yun yung setting. Tapos the way it's described sa autopsy report, like wala lang mention nga kung ano yung surface nitong mga arteries na to,
Oho.
kung may bara-bara nga.
Oo.
So, parang i-imply, wala siyang atherosclerosis, wala siyang itong mga bara-bara.
Alright, the next question, Doktora, ng mga netizens natin, ang tanong nila, could it be ang nag-trigger nitong ruptured aorta aneurysm ay sobrang alak o kaya ay drugs, Doktora? Is it possible?
Well, in the first place, nasaan yung ebidensya? It's not convincing the way it's reported here.
Opo.
That it was really a ruptured aortic aneurysm.
Opo.
Okay, so that's one. And then next is, you're asking, could something have triggered it?
Yes.
Okay, so well, in the first place nga, hindi yata mukhang ruptured aortic aneurysm eh.
Oho.
So parang medyo malabo yata na mag-iisip ka ng yung any activity niya could have contributed to it
Opo.
or initiated it.
Oho.
So medyo malabo yung connection.
Oho.
But then may mga questions of ano mga nangyari kaya
Oho.
na pwedeng mag-explain kung bakit siya namatay.
Yes.
And that's really how you do it. You
Mhm.
look at the case objectively.
Oo.
And if it's true, and I don't know the details, if it's true that she was inebriated, umiinom,
Opo.
so merong alak,
Oho.
baka may ibang drugs, I don't know that.
Oho.
The best way to determine this in any autopsy case is a routine toxicology.
Okay.
Which means, kuha ka ng sample as soon as possible, and that means fresh body,
Mm-mm.
unembalmed.
Mm-mm.
You get routine, minimum blood and urine.
Mm-mm.
So, doon mo na-check kung anong mga ininom, anong nasa katawan niya, and then doon ka mag-decide, is it enough to kill someone? Ma-explain mo ba yung nangyari dito sa tao? And I think that was not done in this case.
Kaya nga ho, Doktor, ang marami nagtatanong at nagkakaroon ng conclusion. Alam mo na may mga netizens po natin, ay sobrang siguro ng alak, hindi na nakayanan ng puso. Ay, nasobran siguro ng ecstasy, hindi na nakayanan ng puso. Ganun ho kaagad, lumalabas, nagkakaroon ng conclusion yung ilang netizens natin because siguro daw alcohol. Kaya ang tanong ko, ma'am, is it possible, kung sabihin na natin, ma'am, talagang sobrang kalasingan, nakakapag-trigger po ba ng ruptured aortic aneurysm ang sobrang alak na, ma'am, or drugs, ma'am?
Again, wag na nating ipilit yung ruptured aortic aneurysm.
Opo.
But yung tanong na, nakakamatay ba ang sobrang alak, sobrang drug of any kind, and
Yes, ma'am.
alcohol is a drug,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
or a
ma'am.
combination of all of these things?
Opo.
And the answer is yes. They can kill.
Mhm.
And that is something that a lot of people take for granted.
Mhm.
Yung mga iniinom mo, yung mga tinutusok mo sa katawan, sinisingkot mo, etc. Ang katawan hindi at some point pwede kang mamatay talaga. But any sudden, suspicious, unnatural death like in this one,
Mhm.
you really have to check.
Oo.
And that means, curious ako, paano siya nakita, yung circumstances,
Okay.
anong itsura niya, anong suot niya, saan,
Mhm.
kasama yan
Aha.
sa investigasyon.
Mhm.
Maraming punto yung nasasabi dyan about reconstructing what happened. And then, nadala man siya sa hospital, fine. But I'm curious, ano ang nakita nila sa hospital? Nag-attempt pa ba silang kumuha ng dugo, halimbawa, for diagnostics? And actually, yung dugo na yan, very important ka yan for toxicology.
Mhm.
And then you do a complete forensic autopsy with toxicology. Now, if you're suspecting this is sexual assault, all the more that you get physical evidence,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
mga swabs,
Opo.
Kasi
hair samples,
Opo.
etc.
Sa report din kasi, the same report, ma'am, sinasabing deep-healed laceration. Kung ako'y ordinaryong tao, ang pagkaintindi ko, malalim, na natuyo na, healed na po yung laceration daw. What does that mean? Pag kayo hong tinanong sa doktora, na nagkaroon ba ng sexual intercourse siya ng gabi na yon o ginahasa? Wala naman binanggit na may semen, pero yun daw ang lumalabas sa medical legal. Ano ho ang ano hong reaction niyo diyan, doktora?
Well, again, if you are suspecting sexual assault,
Opo.
mas matindi ang eksaminasyon mo, ang pagkuha mo ng ebidensya.
Oho.
Alright?
Oho.
Ang nakita ko lang dito sa report, I saw that,
Opo.
some statements regarding the genital findings,
Oho.
okay?
Oho.
But bottom line is, lahat ng nakasulat dito ay non-specific.
Oho.
Mahilig ang mga medical legal sa Pilipinas na mag-mention ng mga ganitong deep-healed laceration.
Oho.
Tapos sasabihin nila, saan? But actually, that's, it doesn't mean anything.
Oho.
Yun ang nakikita mo, nag-conclude ka na previous injury yan na nag-heal. Pagkatapos sasabihin pa nila, ito ay consistent with some action or not consistent with
Oo.
something.
Oo.
So, but bottom line is, the hymen, actually, ito yung dinidescribe nila
Opo. Opo.
is not reliable for sexual activity, especially in an adult.
Bakit, doktora? Why it can't be yung hymen pwedeng pagbasihan ng sexual activity?
Hindi naman talaga siya nagmamarka Alright? Maraming factors kung bakit itong tissue na to, it's really a very narrow thin
Opo.
piece of tissue at the entrance of the vagina.
Oho.
Maraming factors. In the first place, it's distensible.
Oho.
Yung lumuluwag.
Opo.
And that's the reason why women can have intercourse.
Oho.
Okay?
Opo.
That's the reason why women can actually deliver babies
Opo.
through the vagina.
Right.
Nagdi-distend talaga siya.
Aha.
And hindi necessarily na magmamarka yan.
Mhm.
Hindi mo masasabi. Tapos isa pa, ang daming factors. Isa pa, sa isang babae, actually nag-iiba-iba ang itsura ng hymen.
So
According to hormonal changes, cycle,
So
menstrual cycle.
you're saying, doktora, a person, a lady can have sexual intercourse pero hindi babakat, hindi lalabas sa report na ganito na she had sexual intercourse?
Yes. It doesn't follow that you're going to see it in the hymen.
Okay.
Now, if you want to check, okay, kung meron ngang sexual intercourse in the nature of, let's say, penile penetration, pagkatapos merong seminal emission, okay?
Yes.
All right. You may not see that based on the hymenal changes,
Aha.
but you may see evidence of that seminal emission doon sa loob ng puwerta sa vagina.
Opo.
And that's part of sexual assault forensic examination. Okay?
Okay.
Pwede yan.
Alright.
Ang gagawin mo doon, isa-swab mo.
Okay.
Okay? Swab. Parang yung panlinis mo ng tenga, cotton tip applicator.
Right.
Okay. So, kokolek ka nun, pwede mo yung i-smear sa slide, glass slide, yung ginagamit sa microscope.
Opo.
Pwede mong i-check sa microscope, pwede mong i-stain muna. Pero very importantly also, yung smear na yan, I'm sorry, yung swab, yung nando sa cotton,
Opo.
pwede yang i-check for something even more specific and sensitive, which is the DNA analysis.
Alright.
Mas ma-identify mo kung kaninong semilya yan.
Okay. Panghuli na
Sinong
lamang.
tao.
Panghuli na lamang po, Dr. Raquel Fortun, ma'am. So, kung kayo, looking at that report, sabi niyo nakita na ninyo. So, nagdududa kayo at this point, hanggat hindi nyo nakita yung katawan, nagdududa kayo na may nangyari o walang nangyaring sexual intercourse or rape, doktora, base doon sa report ng medical legal ng PNP SOCO, ma'am?
Well, apparently, I think the report is inconclusive. I would not even agree as to cause of death.
Okay.
It's not clear. It's not clear. I don't see any evidence of sexual assault.
Opo.
Question of physical assault, non-sexual kind.
Opo.
I see some abrasions, contusions described here, but they're in the lower extremities. Okay? So, ang tanong na naman is, paano ba siya nakita? Paano siya binuhat? Baka naman nakuha niya ito habang binubuhat siya at buhay pa siya. Or what was her activity before she was found unresponsive? Baka naman na-sustain niya to even before she died, and they may not have anything to do with her death. So again, I find this very inconclusive and unspecific.
So, would you recommend a re-autopsy, because that's what the family is asking for now, re-autopsy, Dr. Fortun?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Lalo pa kung ganitong hindi ganun kaklaro. But if you're going to examine the body again, there are some things you cannot address anymore. Like for instance, yung toxicology. Embalmed na eh.
Okay.
Okay, but however, I will still try. Tingnan natin meron tayong fluid sa mata. Tawag dito vitreous fluid. I don't know if it's still worth doing. I've tried it before. Then kunin natin kasi medyo malayo-layo yan, baka hindi maabot ng embalming fluid. Okay, that's one. Medyo malabo ang toxicology. Two, yung sexual assault part, yung sinasabi kong mga swabbing, and malabo na yan kasi nagalaw na yung katawan, nahugasan na, etc. Okay? That's why fresh is best. Pinakamaganda sana nung bago siya na-embalm. In-examine mo na. However, itong issue of thoracic aneurysm na reportedly ruptured, pwede pa yung ma-check. Alright.
Dr. Raquel Fortun, forensic pathologist, maraming salamat, ma'am. Magandang umaga po. Mabuhay po kayo, ma'am. Thank you po. Good morning. Bayan, thank you for watching. Kung nagustuhan ninyo ang video, mag-subscribe at i-like lamang ito.